You're hoping. You're hoping the power stays on. Come on. 7. Why? You say, well, just walk up the steps. I've walked up plenty. I got a little bit of juice right now. Please, elevator work. Welcome, everybody. Get ready for a great update tonight.
About 5 more meters and we're in. Let me watch it. Watch us cross it. And we're in Ukraine. Gotta cross it. Congratulations.
Welcome, everyone. I want to start right here tonight on day 332. And yes, Zhenya will be joining me here in a little while. First of all, today is a day that we have been... I think I just lost power. No power. Glad I wasn't in that elevator. You heard the beeps go off, so we're out of power. But I'm running on batteries on everything, so. Jumping back to it, today is a special day. Jane will be joining me in a little while. We'll be talking about quite a few things, actually. Soledar, we'll be talking about Bahkmut. I'm gonna start the update by giving you an insight into the European Parliament coming out and making a statement a couple of days ago that they will be holding Vladimir Putin and Lukashenko in war crime tribunals after the war. That's what's going to be happening. Today for us, we're back in Khmelnytsky. You're looking over my shoulder there and you're seeing the panorama out of my apartment window. And I can tell you it's cold. I've been out running some errands. It's wet and it's just a nasty, nasty day. Today is one of those days where we're resetting. Today we've done financial reports back to our home church and keeping the accountability straight. So if you're watching and you are a part of this and you give money or you buy supplies on the Amazon, you can bet your bottom dollar that every penny is accounted for, and we take it very seriously. And of course, you're here with us every day. You're seeing what's happening. It speaks for itself, but thank you. So that's what we're doing. There's a little bit of repair going on the black van, plus the final paperwork is processing right now to import our Nissan Navara 4x4 truck that you will be seeing in upcoming runs to the south and to the east. So that's where we're at today. Now, let's jump back over. I'm going to start with a UATV piece translated into English, giving you guys an update on what Putin and Lukashenko will be facing. Now, for me, and we'll get Zhenya's opinion on this, but for me, this just solidifies it even more that Russia and Belarus are not going to stop in what they're doing in this aggression, in this genocide, and in this terrorism against Ukraine. Check this piece out from UATV, translated for you into English.
The political and military leadership of Russia and Belarus must be held accountable. On January the 19th in Strasbourg, the deputies of the European Parliament adopted a resolution on a special tribunal for Vladimir Putin and Alexander Lukashenko.
The European Parliament considers that the special international tribunal must have jurisdiction to investigate not only Vladimir Putin and the political and military leadership of the Russian Federation, but also Alexander Lukashenko and the political and military leadership in Belarus, as an enabling state from the territory of which and with the logistical support of which the Russian Federation is committing its war of aggression against Ukraine, on the European Parliament website.
The creation of the tribunal will send a clear signal to both the Russian and international community that Putin and the top military leadership of the Russian Federation can face trial for war crimes in Ukraine, MEPs said. President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky welcomed this decision of the European Parliament.
I call on all our partners to support such a tribunal. Russia must be held accountable for its war of aggression and justice must prevail. Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine, on Twitter. At this stage, the International Criminal Court cannot consider crimes of aggression, since neither the Federation nor Ukraine are members of the convention that provides for the creation of this court, namely the Rome Statute. Therefore, the creation of a special tribunal will allow to pass a sentence at the international level on the top leadership of the Federation for crimes of aggression.
Before the new tribunal is operational, a mechanism for investigating the crime of aggression is needed. Therefore, the first stage should be the creation of an international special prosecutor's office to investigate the crime of aggression against Ukraine, the European Parliament said. It is known that the European Union is already discussing its creation with the Ukrainian leadership, Eurojust and the International Criminal Court. The consequences of Russia's war on Ukraine are huge. Children, women, men murdered, families split, hospitals destroyed, homes demolished, schools ruined. Today, the European Parliament calls for an urgent special international tribunal. War criminals must be brought to justice now. Roberta Metsola, President of the European Parliament, on Twitter. For Ukraine, the tribunal will play an important role in achieving justice and for the whole world in deterring other states from repeating aggression, experts say.
Even if such sentence is handed down in absentia, it will still be a precedent so that this will never happen again in the future, so that every other state understands that if it wants to unleash a criminal aggressive war against another state, then there will be consequences for this.
Also in the resolution, the European parliamentarians called for sending the frozen assets of the Central Bank of the Russian Federation for reparations to Ukraine. Western countries are ready to transfer $300 billion of the Russian Federation's gold and foreign exchange reserves to Ukraine. But this also requires a special mechanism for the confiscation of such assets, the Minister of Justice of Ukraine, Denis Maluska, said earlier. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Victoria Sinko, Mykita Babenko, UATV News.
The reality is we are not getting the weapons that are necessary fast enough in Ukraine. But on the other hand, there are coalitions building for after-war criminal tribunals, and not only for the military, but of course it also says for the political. You will think, or you would think, well, that'll be Putin and that'll be Lavrov. Well, it will not only be Putin and Lavrov and Shoigu and Gerasimov and all these guys and Medvedev, but it will move down to the political players that really push the agenda. People like Soledar, these propagandists, remind you of World War II with somebody like a Goebbels. These guys equally will be held responsible for their words. Now, speaking of their words, last night coming out of Moscow, Soledar was going nuts. Because now Russia, of course, is fighting against the entire world. And the entire world, we are all Satanists. Check this piece out.
Уже все. То есть мы переходим из режима специальной военной операции, мы переходим в совсем другой режим. Мы переходим в режим священная война. Ну так реально. Это режим священная война. Нам противостоит 50 стран, которых объединяет сатанизм.
You know, this is a topic that we've been discussing really since the beginning of the war. We saw it as a holy war. We base a lot of this on biblical scripture out of Ezekiel 38. Really believe this is an approach of end times where these nations are coming together. And I know, many of you are here and you're watching, you just want to know what's going on in Ukraine, see some video, look over my shoulder. But reality is there is a lot of madness going on in this world. And a lot of it is fulfilling scripture right in front of our eyes. Now, of course, with that said, this holy war thing, Vladimir Putin cannot be outdone. So he's making some statements about how we've done everything we can do to cooperate with the West, to cooperate with NATO, but they told us no.
Обороноспособность начала повышаться. Мы пытались выстроить отношения и с ведущими странами Запада, и с НАТО. Посыл был один. Давайте перестанем быть врагами. Давайте жить дружно. Давайте вести диалог, укреплять доверие, а значит и мир. Мы были абсолютно искренними, хочу это подчеркнуть. Отчетливо понимали всю сложность подобного сближения. Но шли на это. И что же мы получили в ответ? Получили, коротко говоря, по всем практически основным направлениям возможного сотрудничества нет.
I think that's enough of Putin and Soledar for the day. We'll get Zhenya's opinion on that in just a moment. Had to run out into town to grab some pens and some other supplies, and being in the city here in the dark, just absolutely unbelievable. So I rolled some video just so you guys can experience it. Darkness in Khmelnytsky. Check out a couple of these clips. Needed to run a few errands, and I'm out here in downtown Khmelnytsky, Ukraine, and this entire region is without power. In the background you can hear the generators running, and this is just what it looks like. You can see this huge building here. Of course, no power, no power. My buddy over here on the phone saying, "Welcome to Ukraine." Welcome to Ukraine.
Welcome to Ukraine.
Ah. And we're just in the dark here, folks. You just see people walking. And now crosswalks, of course, not working for the lights. I'm just gonna go and hope for the best. Gives you a little look here. Khmelnytsky, Ukraine. No power. So, oh, I see a light. Yeah. Generators, guys. Generators and batteries. We're in a little shopping area here in Khmelnytsky. You can just see they'll have one light working. And you can see the lady there. One light. Look at here. We're coming into the office center because I need to get a pen, a literal ink pen. And in the office center, we've got one light. And we're shopping by cell phone light. I'm here to buy 4 pens. I needed a blue, a green, a black, and a red. And take a look this way, behind me. The store is absolutely dark. But it's peaceful, you know. I'm not even sure, to be honest. Of course, we're not in war zones in America or wherever nation you're watching from, but I'm not even sure our stores would be open. Like, it's so dark, you could literally have an accident going up and down the stairs. Of course, nothing works. To be quite honest, it's dangerous walking around in the dark. So come on over here, and I'm gonna take it off. And we're gonna work by cell phone tonight. So we're gonna write on paper. I want 4. So of course, no computers working, nothing working. Zelone. Having to do everything by hand. Light on a cell phone. And последний, last one. And then I'm gonna give her cash. Сколько? She's asking what is the price. Что это? 16? Я забыл.
16,99.
Ага.
67.
34, 68. Да?
68.
Так. Може это и... Бу! Yeah. And this is all we have. Все хорошо? Не надо. Пусть Бог благословит вас. И все? Да, не надо. Okay. And that's how you do business with no power.
All right, everyone, I'm back in my apartment now. All is safe and all is well. Actually have a little electricity right now. I'm very happy. Unfortunately, our partner, Zhenya, has 0 electricity, and his region has really struggled with it all day. So as I was telling you guys earlier, we're going to hear from Zhenya tonight, and we're going to hear from him on his opinions about the European Parliament and the Council and their actions and words against Putin, Lukashenko, and others. So let's start with that. Bring Zhenya in now. Here he is from No Power Land.
Hey, sorry for the quality. I'm not sure about the quality you'll get. The only way to get internet is I'm using my new iPhone. I stick it in one of the corners of the window to have at least somehow cover the internet. And the first question was about bringing responsibility that European Parliament and their resolution about to bring the responsibility to Putin and Lukashenko and all of their leaders. My personal opinion, it will be the same with all of the condemnation and disagreement that Russia has to stop and all of that, because it's the Russia's own world. They ignoring all international law, all agreements, all conventions. So it will be just the same as Hague, this decision of the tribunal, whatever. I mean, for example, MH17, the decision was, and it was by the court, it was, they made this decision, the court decision, that it was a Russian fault, that they shut down the civilian airplane and all these people died, and so what? Is there like the Russian airplanes still flying internationally? Yes. What about the sanctions? Just some of the sanctions are working, some not. Still the world is buying and selling, having a business with Russia. It will be the same. It will be the nice words, and the Putin proved, and this situation proved that the international unions and the councils and all of these groups are not working, so they can do whatever with the tribunal. Putin will stay in his country, and the country will be continue having a business with Putin, with Russia, and with the other satellites countries, with like helping, which Russia using for the business, avoiding all of these sanctions. And so, my opinion, yes, there will be some maybe decisions made by the tribunal, and so what? The example, no tanks for the day. No Leopard, no Abrams, not any other. This is yes, good talks. Sorry, guys.
I think our friend is a little frustrated. He sent me a message. He said, man, is it okay if I talk about MH17 like that? I said, are you kidding? Absolutely. That plane was shot down over Ukraine, been proven that Russian forces shot it down, and it was a great example to show that the world really does nothing about it. I do not completely understand why, for sure. Poor world leadership. And for some reason, there is a fear of, I assume, nuclear or some other type of behavior. But we'll see. But it was a great comparison there. And you can sense and see and feel the frustration from Jania. He even had to give a sorry, guys. Now, I want to jump over to Bahkmut and Soledar tonight. There are things happening right now. Jania even has some information from some of the military guys. Not at liberty to share it right now, but he can give a decent update as to what's happening to this moment. And when I say to this moment, that's right when I'm recording this. He's talking to people in Soledar. He's talking to people in Bahkmut. So this is the latest news. And I know folks and the world is watching Soledar and Bahkmut. Here you go, back at Jania.
Coming to Soledar and Bahkmut. So what situation we have there? It's a critical situation. The Soledar, it's basically almost our guys left to save their life, but the battle still going on the edges of the city, let's say, surrounding area, but a lot of Russian troops there, so not easy. It's really critical situation there. Coming to Bahkmut, let's say the battle's going there and back. Some days Russia has some success, some days our guys, but at common the Bahkmut is it's controllable situation. It's okay, but it's still surely it's hard fights. And one more thing, we got great. One more special thanks for all the people who are supplying, helping to supply the aid for military guys. Special thanks for gloves, for this warm socks, and very, very special thanks for those who are buying the power banks, because it's the most critical need now. So we gave it out, all of it, and now many units are requesting the same. They're asking, hey, at least couple more, please give it us. So we'll see what to do with that. And the thermals, it was very big need. The tourniquets, and the pressure bandage, like Israeli bandage, and I mean a lot of things. So thank you guys. Thank you for staying together. These not easy times for Ukraine.